Have you ever heard of Murphy's Law? You know, the one that basically says, if anything can go wrong, will go wrong. That was the story of my life for the past few months. I'm fine now, and it could have been worse, but ever since I lost my job, it was one thing after another, and we've really been feeling the pinch of living on one income in these times of extremely high inflation. Since life had been quite overwhelming for me lately, I decided it was time for a reset. So join me as I briefly walk you through the last few months of my life and the beginning of my slow and simple living reset. I'm not going to share too deeply here about all my fun problems, but you can read more details on my blog, simplyambermarie.com. Within the same week of losing my job, our dryer broke, so I had to rig a clothesline in the garage for a few days or so until my husband ordered a few parts on Amazon and repaired the dryer. I didn't mind that too much, actually. The following week, or maybe the same week, I broke my ring toe on my right foot. That hurt really bad, and it is still healing. In April, the ER bill arrived from when my youngest daughter broke her wrist in February. It was double what I expected. At the beginning of June, our washing machine broke until we scraped the money together to fix it a few weeks later, so I had to wash our clothes in the bathtub during that time. By mid-June, our puppy decided to chew through the vacuum cleaner cord, so that was broken for a few days until we fixed it by replacing the plug. On top of all that, and a bit more, my job search has not been going well. I've applied to a lot of positions, but I'm not really getting any bites. So that's a bit discouraging. In spite of all the difficulties that we've been facing, mainly many small inconveniences compounded by financial stress, Murphy's Law is not the law I operate from. I just kind of forgot that for a while. It's so easy to get caught up in the chaos, but taking a step back and focusing on what truly matters can bring so much peace and clarity. So, I finally realized that I needed to sit down and figure out how to reset and realign with my slow and simple living values, and more importantly, put my focus back on God, my helper and redeemer. I did this by journaling about my problems, seeking God's help through prayer and His Word. Isaiah 40:31 and Romans 8:28 were especially comforting, and coming up with a 3-phase reset plan. The first phase in my reset plan was to reestablish my daily and weekly routines that focus on mindfulness, simple tasks that are mostly homemaking related, and a bit of self-care. During the end of May and practically the entire month of June, I totally derailed my newer routines that I've been raving about in my decluttering series. But starting my day with things like meditating on God's Word and gentle stretching, and ending my day with things like resetting the house, especially the kitchen, set such a positive tone for the entire day. Having a calm and intentional start and end to my day makes a huge difference in how I handle everything else. Additionally, taking time for myself helps me stay grounded and feeling rejuvenated, whether that's playtime with Bear outside barefoot or some quiet reading in my cozy corner of the couch. The second phase of my reset plan is to continue to declutter and simplify our house. I was totally thinking of giving up on that with everything else going on, and I kind of had for about 6 weeks, but I know that creating a peaceful environment helps clear my mind and reduce stress. Since I finished recording my last decluttering and organizing session in mid-May, I'm finally ready to resume my entire house decluttering plan. Maintaining decluttered and organized spaces not only makes our home look better, but it also helps me feel a bit more in control and less overwhelmed. Lastly, the third phase of my reset plan is to gain back control over our finances. Budgeting has become crucial since shortly after losing my job. We did have a small amount of money saved, and I was able to receive unemployment benefits for a short time, so we didn't really start feeling the pinch of living on one income until around the end of May or beginning of June. So after learning the hard way, we're now being more diligent about strictly adhering to our budget, especially our grocery budget, and not spending as much money on things we don't truly need for survival. You know, nothing but food, utilities, the mortgage, and transportation. Being mindful of our spending and making the most of what we already have helps reduce financial stress. I'm about a week into, where's the camera? Okay, to my reset plan, and these simple practices have already made a huge difference in the way I feel. Maybe some of you might be facing similar challenges, and I just want to encourage you to take a step back and focus on what truly matters to you. Life can be so hectic and overwhelming, but by resetting, we can find that calm simplicity once more.